Good morning, Michael. Can you guys please let me know throughout the program if my voice is cutting out or the stream is really glitchy or anything? If the audio is glitchy, it's not necessarily indicative that the stream is a normal audio problem that I have. See, I think it even just cut out the beginning of my word there. I can never really adjust that. I've been trying. Hearing me? Are you hearing me? I say trying again right now, and I don't think you guys heard me. Can't get the settings thing to come up. Yeah, my ass. It's got to be something with the headphone setup. Let me try that. Let's see. Markets pulled back just a little bit before they open. We do have Fed at Fed this Wednesday, I believe. Testing, 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 testing. Is probably the one doing it. Testing, testing. Testing. Ah, it does. Testing. Ah, okay. It does appear to be happening at the headset level, not in my broadcasting software, so I don't have to worry about that over there. Now, what if I turn this testing, 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 still testing, testing, testing. Damn. All right, let me try turning. Testing, testing. No, that's not helping. Did we always have this problem? It was softer sounding? Yeah, that's interesting. I know, because I turned off the compressor. It just won't register my low volume speaking ever. I wonder if that's something in the system. Settings. Testing, 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 testing. And that wasn't the problem. Testing, 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 testing. Jeez. Hello, hello. Testing, testing. Wait a minute. Maybe this is better. Testing, test. This seems to be picking up a lower level. 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 Can't whisper, but I think this is picking up more. Testing, picking up. Not really. Cutting it off. Back here. Testing. Well, shit, I don't know. Son of a bee. Like, oh, maybe I have to do it from here. Okay. Whispering. Talking very softly. This is kind of helping. Testing, but maybe it gets distorted. Sounds good, less amplified but clear and not cutting out. Yeah? I think now it might be good. Testing. I think I may have discovered where the problem was. It's from the main. Yeah, this is pretty good. It's picking up just about damn near everything, whether I'm talking robustly or whether I'm talking like with a little bit. But if I get way down there, it does cut it off. But let's bring it up to 90. And okay. Testing. Hello, everybody. Testing. Okay. Now back over here. Let's turn off this, which might be cutting things off. Okay. Now I believe it's possible that this is still. Well, I think anyway, this is going to pick up a lot more of me. All right. So I'm going to save that from wherever it is right now. And let's see if it holds. All right. Talking much more quietly. Okay. All right. That should catch my quiet moments, I guess, when I'm talking very quietly. Okay. I might have improved it. I don't know. But let me know if it's like all cracking and distorted, though, because I may have turned up the volume a lot. All right. Spotify continues to keep pulling back and before the open. And that's a position I have that I want to keep an eye on because I don't know why, but like nothing else is really pulling back as much as Spotify is. Am I cutting out, by the way? Because sometimes I'm doing a little bit of a whisper there. And also looks like, what is this? SFM. Okay. So I want to watch those from the open. All right. Economically speaking, this week we've got PMI at 10. Tomorrow, some imports, exports, balance of trade. That's going to be kind of interesting information considering the tariff situation tomorrow. And then Wednesday at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, we have the Fed interest rate decision and press conference at 2:30. So that's a big deal. The whole week we'll be waiting for that. Then Thursday, jobless claims. And then Friday, it's just everyone in the Fed is going to be speaking. So Wednesday's the big one that everyone's going to be waiting for. And then Thursday jobless claims. Those are probably the biggest movers. But at 10 a.m. this morning, top of the hour, we are getting PMI, and then tomorrow balance of trade. So this week we've got some things, but the biggest one obviously being the Fed. Let's see how the market moves from the open, but let's see. Pre-market, do we have anything worth noting? Not really. Maybe Palantir is up almost 5%. Is that correct? Yeah, Palantir does seem to be up a bit. Let me look at the chart on that. We're waiting for a pullback, I believe, on Palantir because it is running. And so if you're in it, great. It may have had earnings. Let me see. No, earnings this evening. All right out of the gate. Spotify pulling back more. Let me see where my stop is on Spotify. I might be at it. Looks like I haven't listed a stop on that, but I do believe it was somewhere right around there. To put this heat map over here. Okay, we have a heat map update, and you can see here it's very mixed. And it is true, it's about 50-50 right now. So Palantir has earnings after hours today. So that's why it's people are buying into it. They're gambling. I mean, if you're using house money, that's okay, but now you gotta be careful. A little bit of pullback on our position BSX. I can see that over here. Spotify is being resilient at the open. Good. Yeah, BSX pulling back to our entry a bit. The market. Yeah, that's what I wanted to check. Okay, the market was moving up at the open. Now it's pulling back. So a bit of an up and down there. Checking on O'Reilly, one of my positions. It's doing fine. MCK, fine. BSX pulling back towards entry. I mean, that's not great follow through, but hopefully it'll hang in there today. SFM hanging in there. Are you hearing me okay? I'm not cutting out. I think it's better now, right? All right, SFM and then Walmart. Okay, Walmart's hanging in there just fine. Spotify also hanging in there just fine. And then finally LRN. So those are all my positions. LRN way up there. Looking good. What I'm doing with LRN is I'm going to let it follow the 50 moving average. So I sold half my position on this really great day here. And then I'm just holding the other half up all this strength. Probably should have just sold it all on this continuation. I mean, frankly, because based on my stop, apparently where it's at right now is 6-1. I mean, I have the opportunity to close it out at 6-1 right now. But, my idea here now is because it's really took off and it's a nice setup is to snowball it. So just, give it some breathing room. With regards to the technique of allowing it to run the 50 moving average as a stop, I mean, that could allow me to hold it for a year, Coming back to the 50 moving average is somewhat of a rare event. But the way that works, you really don't want to start letting it trail the 50 moving average until the 50 moving average has caught up with your stop. Okay, you get it? So, however, I sort of am already preemptively just going ahead and letting it follow the 50 moving average because I know that unless there's a huge sell-off panicky problem, that these two back-to-back days of strength are probably going to keep it hanging out up in the high tight flag area for a while. If not, we'll see some fantastic continuation. And then I'll, use my snowballing techniques to create risk-free increase in position sizes and use house money to leverage a large position if possible. So that's the way LRN's going to go. And this green line is 50 moving average for me. Red line is a 200 moving average. It's not necessarily about the colors, though those pretty much make sense to me. I don't know why, but like over on MarketSmith and IBD, they do red is the 50 moving average and black is the 200, and that's fine. That makes sense because they use white charts, paper, So that makes sense to use black for the 200. It's more heavier, but red for the 50. I don't know. So anyway, I just use a different coloring scheme than others, but it makes sense for me. I use red for the 200 because it's like that's the serious level to hold. If you're under the 200 moving average, you basically are red. So it's sort of like the red line in the sand. It's sort of like Black Friday is they call it Black Friday because they've been running red the whole year. They've been underwater the whole year, and this is the first time in which they start getting enough sales and revenue that they finally enter the black. That's why they call it Black Friday. CRWV? I've never heard of this one. Oh, okay. So IPO, a recent IPO, CoreWeave. And I mean, there's cheat entries here. This one actually probably wouldn't have been because it was a down day, but kind of. And this is looking like it's maybe going to continue today, and we've got the all-time high breakout. IPOs can be really powerful, so there might be some gamble worthwhile there on that one. Stop at the low of the day to do a tester, and then build from there, or stop at prior day's low, but that will decrease your RR. Anyway, CRWV for anyone who's interested. There you go. Okay, the market is moving up green now. Spotify with it. That's one of my positions. Palantir actually selling off a little bit, but I wouldn't worry too much about Palantir. Oh, the VIX is below 24 now. That's a great sign. Just moved below 24. What was I gonna say? But I wouldn't worry too much about Palantir today because it's earnings and after hours, so you might as well just wait for that to happen, and then if that's something good, we'll get in tomorrow. Boy, most of the market is red right now, is what we're seeing. And yet, from the open, where would that be here? Do they have that here? Change in 1 hour, I guess you could do. It's not really showing it, but from the open, it is about 50% green. But compared to yesterday, Friday, everybody's down. So the pressure is a little bit on to start the week. And Wednesday, we've got the Fed information. So everyone's going to kind of be waiting to really make their big bets till Wednesday. Oh, by the way, I think it's probably even as soon as tomorrow. What? Oh, somebody, what is this link for? Hold on, I don't see that full message. There we go. Good morning. Do you have the link for Thinkorswim Minervini VCP scanner? That's not what that is. The one that you see here, Minervini VCP, that's not Thinkorswim. This is TradingView. And it's not perfect either. But I do have a Minervini VCP scan. Where is that? Is it somewhere? It's on one. Well, anyway, you can't see it, but oh yeah, there's. I have several of those. I'm not able to send a message over Twitch, so I couldn't give you the link. But contact me somewhere in a private messaging system, not on Twitch, on one of my other platforms, social medias, and perhaps I can get that to you. TLN is an alert this morning. Yeah, we're just trying to get it to. It's like a cheat entry on TLN. Talon Energy looks incredible. Love this sort of double bottom pullback that it did. The action has been tightening up and then it broke. And now it's back down. Oh, there's handles coming up, and then I think that there's cheat entries potentials coming up in this handle here, and also earnings is coming up, and that might be just an entry. Like it might be a green day like this that breaks out over recent highs in the whole structure, and that's called a breakaway gap. And that would be an entry with a stop at low of the day if that were to happen. The earnings on that are coming out on Thursday morning, so we'll keep this alert on. What I'll do is I'll move it up here. Yeah. All right. All right. Market pulling back a little bit. From the open, we've got Uber doing okay. CrowdStrike. Let's take a look at those. Wow. Earnings coming up. When? Let's see. To Wednesday morning. Wednesday morning. And it's already just solidly up at the top of this giant base that it's been in. So that'll be an interesting trade. Let's keep an eye on that. Put that on your list, Uber. Yeah, you're welcome. Todd. What was that? Todd Denelpin. Dawn. Todd 1 LPN. Todd O. Nelpin. Could be an Irish person. I don't know. I like trying to figure out people's usernames sometimes. I just was playing chess this morning and somebody was named Lionel Chessy. Oh, come on. That was good. That was a good username. Lionel Chessy. Oh, that's funny. Very, very clever. All right, CrowdStrike. I mean, CrowdStrike's already off and running. So if you have it, you keep holding it. It's been inching along, so perhaps it's time to take a little profit out if you haven't already. But if you have, then just I would say just keep holding it. Probably you're going to end up letting the 50 moving average just keep you in. That's looking quite good. So what I was going to say is that in the next until the end of the month, until the end of the month, maybe the 25th, towards the end of the month, I'm breaking down my whole computer setup here. So I'll be on the laptop starting probably tomorrow. And that means that there might be lots of technical difficulties going on throughout this week that I'm trying to solve. And I'm likely, at first, going to only be able to stream through TikTok. I think, if it'll let me. So, just be prepared for some members, be prepared for some spotty streaming availability over the next 2 or 3 weeks here. All right, appreciate your patience with that because I'm moving to Florida and I have to break down my whole computer setup and pack it now. But I do have a laptop set up. It's just not the same. So, all right. That's where you first found me? All right, well, good. So that's where we find me again. That's cool. That's good. And look at you now. You probably never thought you'd be doing what you're doing, like, precisely with like high growth stock trading and stuff like that. It's different. It's different. What's your holdings? Let me check on what you got, Michael. Take a look under the hood. Probably O'Reilly is my worst looking holding right now. But everything else is doing all right. And that's not even that bad. But pull back to be expected. See, this is one that doesn't hold the 50, so you might want to trail the 70 or something like that, because this is the 200. We know this is the 200. You know this is the 50. And we can see that price action's always undercutting the 50. So in order to stay into this trade, we want something that's like a little bit more, like let's see, 50 to there's 150. So like this would be 100, 150. So it looks like, like, yeah, like the 100 moving average is what you would want to trail on that one. So see how you can kind of adjust your plan stock by stock basis like that. It's not all hard and fast. Every rule. Ooh, getting a bit too much a pullback on O'Reilly. Well, double check something here. Yeah, that's not right. I mean that I must have done the math wrong here. Something's not right. I think possibly I'm supposed to get out. I must have re-entered. I don't think so. Okay, I gotta check the history on the O'Reilly trade. My entries and exits on O'Reilly. So I think possibly I re-entered and put the stop right here at 1400. Let me see. Put that in alert and O'Reilly didn't even really make an alert. Let's start off the alert channel. Come on, bring it up. Taking so long. There we go. Okay, so on the 30th, I entered. Okay, so the 30th would be, yeah, just as it says here then. Oh, that was like the next day. Ah, so my stop is here then. So this is incorrect. Okay. Very close to my stop now. See that? Okay. I had to readjust because I had made a second entry. That makes more sense. So O'Reilly's getting close to being cut. Interesting. Hopefully, yeah, I believe I did sell some. I did not because I just looked at transaction history. Sell some on Friday, but no, I did not. I must have just missed it. WMS, CRS, eBay, Uber, and VRT. Wow, you're in Uber, huh? Wow. Okay, when did you get in Uber? Because this is an important one since the earnings is coming up. Walmart's doing perfectly a-okay. Nothing really to even do there. Yeah, let me see what you're talking about for on, what was it? Uber. T. Okay, we're going to talk about VRT as well. All right, let me know when you got into Uber. Can't say how much I appreciate what I've learned from you enough. Oh, thanks, man. It's nice to have that every now and then. A little compliment come through the wire. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. Yeah, let me know when your entry was on Uber, and then we're going to talk about VRT. At CRS, am I still in that too? I am not. Why am I not in CRS? Did I miss it? I love this CRS. Maybe I either missed it or took out all my profits. Maybe to liquidate for. I did have to send out a wire the other day. Maybe it's because of that. This morning on a day trade. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. So wait, are you in and out? So are you going to try to create a position out of it though? Or is it just a day trade? and then you're going to be out before earnings. Depending on how it's flowing, the pivot points and all, okay, you could potentially hold this all day if it holds. You might just like let it ride VWAP the whole day. Or you could do pivot point reading like this. And once it breaks pivot, get out. But if it holds pivot all day, holds pivots all day, then you could end up holding it. Sort of follow the day trading pivots. However, you might want to lean on VWAP, but you don't have to. I mean, it just depends on how quickly you want to take profits. Because if you lean on VWAP, it'll give you a little extra padding if it breaks pivot. I guess you could say this is the pivot. Definitely this is a good stop because this is a very nice catalyst-y type of push. It might hold pivots, but another thing you can do, this is discretionary, up to you. Another thing that you can do sometimes is you can cut 2 pivots back. That gives it like a lot of breathing room, right? If you're not expecting like a breakdown for any reason, then and it's just kind of moving nice and smoothly, nothing alarming. There, it just broke another pivot. Then you can say, okay, I set my stop at 2 pivots back, so it would be like this stop, not this one. Or lots of variations thereof. I mean, like look at VWAP is getting really close to that second pivot back anyway. So you could just hold along VWAP all day and see where it takes you. But um, sounds like the best strategy since earnings is coming up, and it was kind of a day trade idea anyway. It could be the best decision. Could be just cut it, but not sell, not cut it if it breaks VWAP, or cut it if it breaks pivot, but just not sell. Just let it appreciate all day, and then perhaps cut it before the end of the day, depending on how much profit you've got, or half of it, and use all the profit that half of it would give you to finance holding it over. See what that would do, holding it through earnings, all that good stuff. All that good stuff. You have a lot of ideas there. Now, VRT is interesting. I'd say it's a little bit relatively weak compared to other things, right? It has gone ahead and come out of this pullback it was in. Understandable pullback. Energy. Oh no, energy. What is this? VRT. I don't know what Vertiv is, but say this is probably tariff related or something. This definitely wasn't ER right here. But this is a good day today. Today's like the first day it's up and over that particular pivot point. It is a combination of everything, yeah. Both if it does well, but out before, yeah, I know. I got into it a few days ago, so I have profits on VRT already. Oh, okay. Now, don't confuse. Let's say you got in here, which would be great, and then maybe that's the truth. I don't know. But don't confuse this little day with a small move. because actually that's a huge day when you look at it and consider it, when you take the gap into consideration. So this would have been a day, an unusual price appreciation moment to take 25%, 33%, 50% off, and then just let the rest hang on the 50 moving average or something. Uh, but yeah, coming up and over the ER day is an interesting pattern. And then up and over and through this pivot, it's got a lot of good stuff going on there. I wouldn't let go of that too easily. Maybe it was a tester position. I don't know. As long as it looks good on a 5-minute chart, I hang on to it. Otherwise, I'm out. Really nailing down cutting. Okay, well, that's good. Yeah. Yeah. Now Uber is continuing to move. Very nice. Now, let's say on Uber, like you didn't know what to do, just as an amateur, as a beginner, let's say, you just didn't know what to do. It's like it made such a good move, right? But you want to hold it for other more advanced reasons that you're aware of. But you're fighting this beginner quality to just sell it instead of hold it. That's also fine. But what I would just say is that if you had, let's say, 20 shares, just sell one. It's okay to take a little profit just to get rid of the anxiety, just to get rid of the jitters, the desire, the FOMO to sell it. Just sell, just sell a micron. Just satisfy your brain's desire to do that, but only in a small way, and lean on the possibility that there could be much more going on today on it as far as price improvement goes, moving into earnings, because you have something interesting going on there in a couple of days or whatever it is. uh, you may want to sit on padding going into earnings. But another thing is you could just build up that padding and profit, move it aside, turn it into capital, get out before earnings, let earnings do its thing, and then get back in if you need to. It's kind of all the same one way or the other. However, the idea being, if you think Uber is going to have stellar earnings, surprise stellar earnings, then it's probably going to end up at 120 after earnings release. You know what I mean? Like after that day, like it's going to gap up to 97 or 95 after earnings, and the next day in the morning it's going to go up to like 110 right before the open, and then once it's open, it's going to work its way up to 120. See what I'm saying? Because this is a breakaway gap this is a base that's been building since for over 1 year. These are the most absolutely powerful bases, and just an absolute shame to ignore. It's like there's a once in a year opportunity coming up. The bases that last 1 year on great stocks with really, really nice moves. From the bottom here, we have even all the way to the top here, 323% move. I mean, this is just worth a try. It's worth a shot. So, it's not just like, what do they say? Just, the usual, how you should approach your gains and position on Uber. It probably is something you should hold on to a lot, all the way up to earnings, if it's going to do an earnings run up and maybe even a breakout. I'll tell you what, when it gets all the way to this, recent slash all time high, 87, a lot of people are going to be taking profits, because it's just quite typical that once you reach an all time high, the thing reverses and then tucks back down. So I would get pretty defensive once it gets up to 87 there. It's getting pretty close. But until then, keep watching the pivots and seeing if you can hold through it all. Let's see here. My LRN is doing okay. See what I'm talking about like letting this already just run the 50 moving average, because it had 2 strong days. Never discount the strength of a strong day. It's very powerful. Like if you look at all the strong days on this, you've got this one, then you've got these two, and maybe this gap up here, this gap up here day. That's it. So we had back to back two strong catalyst days. I mean, that's phenomenal. And look, as far as price improving from every single time it ever did that. Stop at the bottom of the candle, price improving. Stop at the bottom of the candle, price improving. Stop at the bottom of the candle, price improving. Yeah, it got stopped out one time, but there was a lot of profits to be had already. And, the point is, those days they kick off moves. It's like the beginning of, football. I don't watch football enough, but I forget what they call it. Down when it says zero down or whatever. I believe it's what it's called. Or the beginning, like when you've changed sides or whatnot, possession, and now you get to kick it. Oh, is that after a goal or whatever? It's the beginning. I don't play football. I don't watch a lot of football, so I don't know all that. But um, the ball's in their court now. See, kind of thing. So, okay, basketball is probably a better analogy. When there's a catalyst day like that, or a big day like that, um, you're able to put a lot of trust into that, a lot of trust into the fact that that day meant something, and so that means you should take profits out of it as well, potentially, or some. They're rare if you're already in it, and it makes another move. That's why I should probably take all my profits out of LRN. I'm only up 11.64%. I mean, look where this thing could go. I mean, we might be looking at a run up to the next earnings here. The averages. So from here, 160 instead of 160, we could be looking at 195 now, and then that pulls back and everything, and it ends up riding the 50 moving average all year till it finally has like a blow off top and then breaks below it in a year and a half. And I could be snowballing along the way, and then I can get out at, let's say because of the snowballing and all taking profits as well along the way, I average 310 from my entry of 140. So I'm looking at it like 120% on leveraged snowballed money potential here. So this is why you gotta let these things breathe. Same thing with Uber. You're looking at a lot of potential. This would be some of the first time Uber's had a chance to do anything, because it's been back and forth for a while, but this has been the first kind of mature base really to work with. The last time you had a mature base was back here. Absolutely stellar, perfect base. And then from there, that was $32. And within 1 year, it hit $80. So it's like 250%, or I don't know if I'm doing the math right, but it's pretty damn good. So that could happen again from here. Mature bases create runs. Running. Now, there's lots of earnings periods where that could get kicked off coming. I mean, this mature base could go another 6 months, but it's worth a try whenever you're seeing the setup and you're seeing the signals. It's worth a try laying out the bet. All right, let's look at the market real quick and then we'll close this show down. All right, the market continues to inch its way up. The dollar is remaining strong. The VIX is staying around 24. We've got Fed on Wednesday afternoon. Rates are moving up, which is interesting. Yeah, those are the biggest factors. Gold is hitting over 3,300, and the general market is just all red today compared to Friday. But off of the open, change from open is actually mostly green. I don't know if it'll show that yet. Yeah, not yet. If this had a half an hour or change from open, then it would show. Yeah, it doesn't have that unless you're on the advanced version, I guess, which I thought I was, but okay, that's fine. Anyway, Uber is looking good. You say you use a 5 minute technique to stay in. Okay, good, good for you, but uh, pivot points here are going to really lay out a nice path for you. But 5 minute can work too. All right. What do you think of Duolingo? I mean, I think I like it, right? Let me see. Oh yeah, I mean, I love it. I've been loving it. Just we're not in it. We missed it or whatever. However, yeah, incredible. This is an increased volatility, increased size. Oh, good, good, good. Yeah, use pivot points. Um, yeah, Duolingo might be on fire right now. So anyway, you'd be looking for a handle. Uh, One thing's for sure, it's no longer in a mature base. It's no longer in a base. It's like in play and rallying. So you have to measure from the last mature base to figure out whether or not it's extended or not, or whether or not you want to get in on little blippy handle movements, because like for instance, let's say this is the breakout here of the prior base, and then it moves up here, but you missed it. And then you're looking at it, you're like, oh, but hang on, and then it's doing this, and then you're like, oh, if you just happen to be getting in, you could say, okay, I'm going to get in here, but realize that we are extended off of the base and moving now. In other words, we're out of the base. So this is a first handle really out of the base to be able to gain an entry on. It's not even a cheat entry during price appreciation extension out of the base, and that can go about me. You never know, but it could be a fake out, but like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times before it needs a new mature base. And in this case, we kind of got like a mature base, even though it kind of sticks up in the middle. You could think of that as like a bit of a mature base that we got again. So we got two pullbacks in that, and then one little bonusy move there. But we're out. We're out and extending now. And if it pulls back, realize that an entry and pullback, yes, it's good. It's a great idea. That'd be a handle that you want entry in. But you should know what you're getting into. You're getting into something that's already extended off its base the first time, and that it might only rally 1 to 5 times out of the base. And what I mean by times is each time it's done rallying, it does a handle type pullback like these. So you might get 1 to 5 opportunities of price improvement as it extends out of this mature base. And you never know, when is the last one. That's just part of how it goes. It's just as uncertain as getting in as it's coming out of the base, thinking it's going to run and run and run, which is what you hope it's going to do, but that only happens 20, 30, 40% of 20, 30% of the time. Well, it's the same thing with these two. But your risk reward should be pretty good if you set things up right, and if you're building padding to buffer your entries and finance your positions, then it's all part of the game. You're playing a short game that you roll into a long game, essentially. And I don't mean short, long like stocks. I mean like more like gambling or probability or statistics or likelihoods. The short game is this testing, scalping, padding, building, and then the long game is something like LRN, where I'm just going to be in it for a long time trying to snowball. it's possible, we've talked about it before. It's possible that if LRN does something great for a year and a half, it's possible that I eventually snowball and leverage up all my money into it. And then I'm sitting all my money in this one thing, and it goes up, what, 150 to 250%. Well, that's all my money going up. But I wouldn't be in that situation as a gamble. I would have built that up on zero risk finance snowballing. So, um, and I wouldn't never want to be all in one position. I mean, it would probably drive me insane to be like that. Building up a massive one position finance like that hasn't happened for me for a long time. So I'm looking forward to it happening. If we can catch it here, it'll be really great. Uh, but, hey, we're going to continue to live and learn every day, every broadcast, every stream till you are a master trader. Put it all on black. Yeah. All right. Have a good morning, and I'll see you back in the group. Okay. Take care.